Welcome in, y'all. We're gonna go through lower body mobility movement. I think of this as lower body nourishing session because I'm not really trying to gain a whole lot of range of motion here. I'm more just trying to make my nervous system feel good, trying to make my muscles move through full ranges of motion. So we're gonna start in this toe kneeling position where I point my toes, put them to the ground, rock the hips back, and then we're just gonna rock forward, go down, feel that big stretch through the feet. Feel that good full bend of the knees, almost like a kneeling deadlift here to get started. And as you press up, I want you to see if you can feel like your toes are pressing into the ground. Rather than doing all hips here, I want to feel my feet initiate that movement. This is such a good one for getting big toe extension, which really helps with ankle dorsiflexion. It's, one of the first joints that contacts the ground. So being strong there, being flexible, really, really important. Today, I know some of you guys like when I use the timers. Today's more of a raw session. I'm not timing anything. I'm not counting anything. I'm going to be mostly going by feel. So just follow along with me. See how this feels in your body. Like I said, this is really all about trying to feel good in the body today. Not stressing ourselves. We're not pushing. We want to feel the power and the power of how movement can nourish your body. Okay, cool. So I got the sweats on and the socks because this pad is so hot from the sun right now. We're going to do fisherman squat switches. So I tuck one leg. I can use my hand to push me forward. And I feel all my weight come into this front leg. I feel that ankle get a nice stretch there. And then I'm going to lean back and then I'm going to switch. Here, same thing. Feel all the weight shift forward. Then shift the weight onto that back hip and we switch. Now this whole session, I want to be trying to keep my breath steady, taking deep breaths. I don't want to clench anything. I don't want to tighten up my belly too much, only when needed, but mostly trying to stay relaxed, really feel this body, feel this movement in your body. Now we can start to use no hands to do this. And what this entails is a little bit more pulling from this leg and from your core muscles, pulling you forward. You can also reach the arms forward for a counterbalance. That helps quite a bit. But really, it's less muscular strength. It's more of getting the timing, getting the patterning, using some slight momentum to get us around here. We've been putting out a lot of content on standing up from the floor easily without hands or with minimal hand assistance. And this is, if you can rock forward here, most people can find a way to get up right there, right? I've even heard this called ironing the legs, because if you do a lot of this, it's almost like foam rolling. Like you learn how to yield your muscles to this. I can do this on cement and feel fine because I've done a lot of it and my muscles, they relax into hardness, right? But in the beginning, you're very sensitive through your muscles, through your joints, through your bones. You can desensitize yourself to this by yielding, basically. And that's what a lot of this is. So you can work that knee in. If you really want to work on strength a little bit, you can squat up from this position. Even try to come down and touch the knee down first. It's an interesting way to develop some strength. I've worked on this also quite a bit. Boom. We'll call this the last one here. Okay, great. Let's take a few seconds to breathe here. Make sure that we're not tightening up too much. Whew. Let it flow, let it release. So next, we're gonna do a kneeling side plank. And this is pretty hot. Let me get some sweat on there. So we're gonna lift the hips, and then we're gonna lift this top knee. So working the side of our torso. I then want you to find a kneeling position, like so, on your knees. And then we're gonna rotate to the other side, hit that same kind of starfish position here. So the sides of the torso get very underutilized throughout modern day life. So I find that doing something like this, where I have to press into the ground laterally, I have to stabilize through my obliques, I have to use my outer hip muscles like the glute medius. This is really important for the nervous system to use those muscles, right? We want to use all the muscles in our body. We want to use all those fascia lines. Now we'll switch to going on the foot. So this gets a little more challenging here. We can still come to the knees in the middle. Foot. Wow, let's do one more on each side. This side's definitely stronger for me. And then we go to this side. A little bit more challenging. Okay, go ahead and relax. Nice and easy there. Not trying to crush ourselves with super long isometrics. Just moving and flowing out of those positions using these sides of our torso. Next, going with the side body theme, we're gonna move into a kneeling Cossack squat. So I want you to start like this, right? And I've really been enjoying these. I've been exploring them more and more because I love the regular Cossack squat on your feet, but the ankles are a huge limiter there. And for anyone who has stiffer ankles, we can still get a lot out of this rock up and down, right? So notice that when I rock back, that foot slides out. I can also pick that up, and this knee is getting fully compressed as much as you can. If it doesn't feel comfortable to go full, you can keep a less range of motion, half range of motion. But if you can, really sink in there, feel a good stretch here, and then push out of there, right? We're using our inner thighs, adductors a lot here. Keep breathing. When I actually feel in this kneeling, I feel the adductors on the leg that's working even more than I do when I actually squat here. And I think it's because they squeeze together so much to pull me up. So let's go ahead and switch sides. So we start in this tall kneeling position. Just go as wide as feels comfortable for you. We sit back, let that leg go out. Push that foot out. Breathe in on the way down. Out on the way up. If you go really slow, you take a few breaths just for one rep. But just keep the rhythm of your breath nice and smooth. Not counting here. No idea how many reps we've done. I think I'm going to do 2 more though. Really feel those inner thighs. Oh yes. Okay, awesome. From here, our hips are nice and warmed up. Our ankles are a bit warmed up for those fisherman squats. We can sit down into a squat and just take a little time here. Try to breathe. If this is not accessible to you, little elevation of the heels here. You can put your hands on something as well, whether that be a weight or something stable to kind of hang back on. Whatever it takes you to get down here is fine. Breathe. Deep squat is all about letting go. You know, in the beginning, it might feel like you're having to force yourself down here and you're, but the more we can breathe it out, let it go, sink into this position, despite the joint restrictions we may have, your body can allow more and more, right? You know, I see people with really stiff ankles still get better at deep squats because the more we can let go of the muscles, the fascia, we can release into this position. And I really think even the people with the longest legs, even the people with the hip anatomy that's not built for squatting, I think a lot of people aren't built to be super good weighted squatters, but I think that everyone can have a form of a relaxed squat. All right. I'm gonna move this pad, my shirt on for this next one because we're gonna go on our backs and we're gonna do hip escapes. Hip escapes generally used in martial arts like jujitsu, tactically, right, to escape something. We're gonna use this to work on some hip and torso movement and mobility. So we simply lift the hips, then we push the feet into the ground. Take these off, come back to center, turn onto the shoulder, push through the heels. We kind of compress the body a bit. We come back to the middle, press. Feel your body interact with the ground here. Try to stay a little bit compressed in the body. If we extend, we don't quite get that nice ground contact that makes this move a bit more fluidly. Or just work side to side. Feel yourself push through the feet. Feel yourself pull through the heels. And this is one of those movements that you don't want to force it, right? This should become more of a flowing movement. Okay, relax for a sec. So now we're going to turn this hip escape into just something that's going to use a little bit more muscular strength from the legs by elevating the hips and going onto the shoulder. So same thing, we're going to go here, but I'm going to post on the shoulder and I'm going to straighten my hips, keeping them off the ground. Come back, set them down. Other side. Shoulder, feet support. Back to the middle. And like I said, this is just kind of challenging our movement intelligence here. It's using a bit more strength from the core and the legs now. And sometimes spreading the feet makes this easier, right? Because my base of support becomes wider. You could also challenge yourself to keep your feet closer together. It's harder. Let's do one more on each side. And actually, because this is so strength focused here, a little bit harder, let's do one more, keeping the hips down. Breathe. Okay, awesome work. I'm gonna bring you guys outside with me here. I'm gonna take my shirt off again because it is blistering hot out here. Move into a little movement for the hamstrings called the Ostrich Walk. So Ostrich Walk is pretty darn simple. As we step forward, we're gonna reach down and we're gonna stretch that hamstring. On this, I'd say don't worry about your back angle too much. We don't need to overly arch. You don't wanna completely fold either. Just kind of let it do what it's naturally gonna do here. We're unloaded. Rounding the back is not going to harm you here. But it's more about trying to feel that hamstring than just rounding our back to get range of motion, right? And with each step, we're just exposing our body to that little hamstring stretch, letting it know it's safe. I'm bouncing in and out of there. I'm breathing. By the end of this, I'm hopefully have more range of motion than where I started. Just do one more going back here. Awesome. Whew. All right. We're gonna move back to isometric strength in a different way here. We're gonna work on a side kick. So what I want you to do, balance on one leg and bring this knee up to your side here, right? So all we're gonna do from here is extend that knee. I'm gonna hold here for 3 to 5 seconds. Lower. Easy, right? But easier said than done. This has become one of my favorite ways to work on some single leg stability through the hip, through the ankle, while also getting good at a skill like kicking and getting really strong through the sides of the hip, right? Because it takes a lot of hip strength to get that foot higher and higher, right? And that's why I always we start low. We're not challenging ourselves at all yet. Just right here, below parallel at the hip. Let's see, how does that feel, right? Are you losing your balance? Are you falling over like crazy? This movement can be really telling. When I started doing this a lot around 6 months ago, I noticed on my right leg, I was always falling over, even when I wasn't pushing that kick. So I just said, okay, I got to get really good here at a lower intensity before I start pushing it, right? And speaking of pushing it now, we'll go a little bit higher. So I really want to establish this position, feel strong through the ankle and the hip. Now, get higher. And yes, we start to lean away a little bit. That's completely fine, right? We're just not really doing this, right? But to facilitate that leg coming higher, the torso can certainly lean. And the interesting thing about a side kick that I'm finding is that it seems like a lot of this leg, but actually this hip has to push through that outer hip, that glute medius, to facilitate my leg getting higher, right? So it's not all this kick leg, it's actually a lot more of the bottom leg. Here we go, feel stable. Whew, yes. Really enjoy these. Let's do last one on this side. Oh yeah. Okay, nice. Now, mess around with just a few kicks, throwing them a little bit more forward here. I just like to do this, let the leg kind of snap a little bit. See if I can get the foot around head height or even higher. A little bit more hamstring focused on this one. Let's do one more on each side. Boom. Last one. Let's go. All right, pulling the mat back because we're gonna end with working some hip internal rotation. Something that just always makes my hips feel really nice in today's hip nourishing session, right? So that's what we want to do. So we're going to sit in this Z sit position here. We can use our hands to lift the hips, but this is less, to me, this is less about like doing a glute bridge. It's more about pushing this back knee into the ground, kind of feeling like those inner thighs and the side of the hip do a lot of this motion. So we go no hands when you start to feel good, and you can start to try to sit back into this hip. Really work this internal rotation. I almost try to coil my body on this side. Side coil. Because this is also really good stretched for the other side body. Obliques, QL. You'll naturally side bend to this side. One more. Okay. Go ahead and switch sides. lot of people ask where I got this mat. This is a tatami martial arts mat. I bought a whole set of them for my garage. They're quite expensive. You can look them up online. But man, they are nice to stretch on, to do movement on. And I do actually recommend, it doesn't have to be as legit as this, even just those puzzle piece mats that you can pick up on Amazon or something. But getting yourself somewhere in your apartment or your garage, somewhere that invites the ground, somewhere a little softer, it'll totally make you want to stretch more. It'll make you want to do some of these hip flows more. It'll just simply invite you. You might start taking your morning coffee there. You might start, reading there in the morning, or getting down with your kids on the ground more. It's really worth it. Okay. All right. So those are always challenging, especially getting started. Use the hands as much as you need. Now, we're going to do something that everyone can do a version of. But to do the full version gets pretty challenging. We're going to take kind of a horse stance here, or almost like a half squat. This ground is getting way too hot. I have to put shoes on for this. Okay, so half squat. We're going to rotate the knee in and downward, okay? Just like this. Now we're kind of working this internal rotation actively in. And once again, if you were just here, anybody can do this, right? But as you get better and better, see if we can get that knee close to the ground. I used to do these in a squat, but actually it takes some of the load off of the legs. If we go half squat, you get loaded more in this position. And it also just translates to real life stuff that we're doing. A lot of internal rotation is found in sport, right? Basketball, throwing a ball, right? A lot of this takes internal rotation, strength of the hip. So this is a good carryover. Let's do 2 more on each side. Awesome. Okay. Breathe it out. I found sessions like this so nice for my nervous system. I like to break this up, do this, say, in the morning or on days that I'm not doing strength training. It's like this is a way to really challenge your fascia systems, right? Challenge your joint capabilities, your mobility. And often, I think that this actually brings more confidence into your body than getting super strong with weights, right? But I think that a combination of both is going to be the best for 90% of people. So I kept this one way more raw, talked a little bit more, kept it live. Let me know how you enjoy this style. If you do like this style, you'll love our program, Flexibility Flow. It's actually 16 weeks of these follow-alongs that progress on each week to get you more flexible, to increase movement capabilities, and hopefully, like this session, just to be more in our body throughout the day. All right, guys, much love.